I stand in the grand hall of the historic mansion in Boston, my wedding dress shimmering under the chandelier glow. Everything feels right, the vows exchanged, Nicholas's warm glance from across the room as he chats with his old friends near the dance floor. For once I've built something solid. That's when my sister approaches her silver gown, catching the light, wearing that smile I've known all my life, the one that masks entitlement. "Kayla, you look stunning," she says, smoothing my sleeve. But then her tone shifts. "I'm the one who deserves the house your mother-in-law gave you." She says it casually, like discussing the cake, gesturing to the elegant key fob tied with a ribbon on the gift table, the $25,000 starter home down payment they'd presented us hours ago. My stomach knots. What house? She waves the keys she's somehow already holding 20 feet away as if it's hers. Our 120 guests mill around, laughing, oblivious. Mom steps in, her voice light. "You don't mind if she takes it, right? She needs it more than you two with your stable jobs." The nearby guests chuckle, thinking it's a family joke. I freeze, the old ache rising, the lifetime of being sidelined expected to yield. But this is my day. The reception hums on, tension building in the air. If you've ever dealt with family favoritism turning toxic like this, hit that like button, subscribe for more real stories, and share your experiences in the comments below. A few hours after the reception, I pace the hotel suite. The city lights of Boston flickering through the windows as Nicholas pours us both a glass of water. He hands me one, his touch grounding, but my thoughts spiral into the past I've tried to outrun. At 12, Mom sat me down in the kitchen, her coffee mug steaming. "Jasmine needs the larger room for her art supplies," she explained, eyes averted. I nodded, swallowing protests, and spent the next day moving my books and clothes into the cramped space down the hall. Jasmine claimed it immediately, hanging her drawings while I stared at bare walls, already knowing her whims shaped our home. 3 years later, at 15, I took on after-school jobs at the local library, shelving books to afford basic jeans and shirts. Jasmine, meanwhile, paraded in designer clothes bought on shopping sprees with Mom. "She deserves nice things for her confidence," Dad muttered during one dinner, fork paused mid-air. He rarely challenged it, his silence a constant. By 18, exhaustion defined me. I flipped burgers mornings and stocked shelves, evenings finally buying that rusty Honda, its engine coughing on startup. Parents celebrated Jasmine's college acceptance, overlooking how her free evenings for homework stemmed from my forfeited youth. They even hosted a party for her, while my high school graduation got a card. Those imbalances echoed everywhere. Birthdays where Jasmine tore into packages revealing concert tickets or jewelry, her squeals filling the room as I unwrapped generic gift cards. Sunday brunches tailored to her cravings, pancakes with extra syrup, fresh fruit salads, ignoring my suggestions for something simple like eggs. Road trips planned during her summer breaks, forcing me to beg off work, losing paychecks. Nicholas entered this cycle early in our dating, witnessing a family reunion where Mom gushed over Jasmine's promotion at her retail job, barely mentioning my first client win in marketing. He sets his glass down now, face serious. "Kayla, this has gone on too long. They treat you like an afterthought." His words hit hard. He's seen the toll from canceled dates because I covered Jasmine's shifts to holidays where gifts highlighted the gap. Andrew dismissed it lightly at the mansion, chuckling as he adjusted his cufflinks. "Lighten up, it's sibling rivalry," he teased, slapping Nicholas on the shoulder before mingling with guests. His nonchalance grated, but he stayed out of it. Resolve builds in me like a storm. "No more yielding," I declare, grabbing my clutch. Nicholas agrees, his software engineer's logic kicking in. We'll confront with facts. I open the app for the house security, the feed crystal clear. Angela and Jason's gift, a modest ranch-style home in a leafy neighborhood, their $25,000 contribution, making it possible, now tainted. The video plays, Jasmine creeping up the driveway under moonlight, unlocking with a spare key she'd swiped, striking poses against the porch railing, phone flashing. Her uploaded photo bears the tag, "Dream spot for me, time to move in." Nicholas leans in, jaw tight. "That's intrusion. We show this." We rush back to the venue, the drive tense but purposeful. The hall thins out, couples swaying to final songs. Jasmine lingers by the bar, keys dangling from her purse. Mom sips wine nearby, chatting animatedly. I clear my throat loudly. "May I have your attention?" The music dips, eyes swivel. Andrew looks up from his phone, brow raised. I link to the sound system, projecting the footage large. Jasmine's sneaky entry broadcasts her gleeful expressions, undeniable. Murmurs turn to stunned quiet. Mom's glass clinks down. "Explain this." "She entered without permission." I state, heart pounding but voice firm. "Acting entitled to our wedding present." Angela marches over, her necklace glinting angrily. "We intended that home for your future with Nicholas, not redistribution." Jason nods sharply, his medical composure yielding to indignation. "Absolutely. This oversteps boundaries we set." Jasmine falters, face flushing. "I was just envisioning possibilities." Silence blankets the space, the weight of exposure heavy. Nicholas's arm around me feels like armor. This moment cracks the facade I've maintained. The following morning, sunlight filters through curtains as my phone vibrates incessantly. Nicholas groans, checking his own device. Incoming storm. I swipe open, Jasmine's Facebook update dominates. "Sisters should lift each other, not hoard houses." Heartbroken over materialism trumping bonds. Reactions pour in, thumbs up from acquaintances. Mom's response leads. "Priorities shift sadly. Family unity matters most." Heat rises in my cheeks. Rewriting the narrative. Nicholas boots his computer, capturing screens. We sift archives, messages from a month ago. Lori planning with Jasmine. Present it as a family decision at the event. Jasmine's replies gloat. "Can't wait to park there." Brandy messages next, my trusted friend from university days, now in my marketing team. Captured the scene discreetly. Her videos arrive, close-ups of Jasmine flaunting keys. Mom's affirming nod, the initial guest amusement shifting. We organize the dossier, communications clips, timestamps. Then Andrew's input appears in the thread. "Jasmine's right. Kayla overreacts." Resources get shared in families. His alignment surprises, eroding any lingering neutrality. Nicholas pauses, typing. Full defense mode. I agree, the accumulated slights crystallizing into action. Recalling my business launch. Mom's skepticism. A hobby versus funding Jasmine's fleeting blog setup. Or college, where I self-financed community classes while they remortgaged for Jasmine's private school. Nicholas embraces me. "We've got this." His encouragement steadies as we fortify our stance. Midday brings escalating pings, Jasmine's post viral among circles. Yet our arsenal stands ready, solid, undeniable. Andrew's involvement marks a turn, his support for her deepening the divide. 3 days later, my inbox lights up with alerts as Nicholas and I sit at the kitchen table reviewing our compiled evidence. Jasmine's latest move appears: an online petition on a crowdfunding site titled, "Sisters' Greed Leaves Me Homeless, Help Restore Family Justice." The description paints me as the villain, claiming I've hoarded the house gift while she struggles, complete with a photo of her looking forlorn. Donations trickle in fast, $200 already from sympathetic strangers and extended family. Nicholas scrolls through, shaking his head. This is manipulation on steroids. She's turning our private issue into a public spectacle. I refresh the page, watching the counter climb. Comments flood. Support sisters in need, and family betrayals hurt deepest. Jasmine's update boasts about the overwhelming love pouring in, urging more shares. The doorbell rings unexpectedly, pulling us from the screen. Through the peephole, Mom and Dad stand on the porch. Mom's face streaked with mascara. Dad shifting weight uncomfortably. I open the door a crack. "What are you doing here?" Mom pushes forward, tears streaming. After everything we've sacrificed for you, this is how you repay us. Humiliating your sister at your own wedding. Her voice cracks hands, clutching her purse like a lifeline. Dad places a hand on her shoulder. Your mother's been up nights since the ceremony, worrying sick. I step back, motioning them inside reluctantly. They perch on the living room couch, Mom dabbing her eyes with a tissue. Jasmine deserves a stable start. You and Nicholas have careers, give her the house. It's the right thing. Nicholas stands nearby, arms folded. This visit wasn't announced. We're setting limits now. I meet Mom's gaze directly. Sacrifices. Let's talk about those. When I needed braces at 13, you said the budget was tight, but Jasmine got hers 2 years later without question. I worked through college paying my own way while you co-signed Jasmine's loans and took a second mortgage for her UCLA tuition. I got into Cornell but couldn't go because practicality matters, yet for Jasmine, no expense spared. Mom's mouth opens in protest, but I continue. My first apartment deposit came from savings I scraped together, but you handed Jasmine cash for hers. When I launched my consulting business, you called it a phase. For Jasmine's sales training courses, you paid up front. Dad intervenes softly. Valerie, we meant well for both girls. It's Kayla. I correct the slip, irritating. Nicholas interjects firmly. This pattern stops. No more uninvited drop-ins. Respect our space, or leave. Mom sobs louder. You're tearing us apart over bricks and mortar. I shake my head. It's about equity, something I've lacked my whole life. Please go now. They rise slowly, Mom whispering please as Dad guides her out. Think of the shame, she says at the threshold. Nicholas closes the door behind them, locking it with a click. As their car pulls away, a surge of strength courses through me. For years I'd caved to keep peace, but standing firm feels liberating. Nicholas hugs me. You handled that perfectly. We return to the petition page now at $350. Jasmine's bold escalation hardens my resolve. This confrontation, though draining, marks a turning point. I breathe deeper, the weight lifting slightly. 1 week after that, my office buzzes with the usual Monday rhythm, colleagues typing reports, phones ringing as I finalize a client presentation in my cubicle. Shannon stops by with coffee, her smile fading when my phone pings urgently. It's the front desk. Your siblings are here insisting on seeing you. Before I can respond, Jasmine and Andrew burst into the open-plan space, heads turning from nearby desks. Jasmine spots Shannon first, her eyes red-rimmed but voice carrying. You work with my sister, she's destroying our family over a stupid house. Shannon freezes, mug in hand, as Jasmine gestures wildly. Andrew scans the room, locking eyes with me. We need to talk now, it's an intervention. They advance Jasmine's heels, clicking loudly. She corners Shannon again. Kayla's always been selfish, but this hoarding a gift while I struggle. Andrew nods vigorously. Exactly. Her behavior screams issues, we're concerned about her stability. The disruption escalates. Jasmine bursts into loud sobs, drawing stares from the entire floor. How could she do this to us? She wails, volume echoing off the glass partitions. Andrew approaches my supervisor, Mark, who's emerged from his office. Look, Kayla's going through something, mental fog maybe. Family needs to step in before it affects work. Mark holds up a hand. This isn't appropriate here. But Andrew presses on, voice rising. You don't understand, she's unstable, pushing us away over nothing. I stand heart racing as security footage from the building's cameras likely captures every moment the system emails alerts for unusual activity. Shannon slips away, texting me later with screenshots from her phone, Jasmine's tear-streaked face mid-rant, Andrew gesturing emphatically. Enough. I dial the local police non-emergency line, explaining calmly. Unwanted visitors causing a scene at my workplace, refusing to leave. Officers arrive within 15 minutes, badges gleaming under fluorescent lights. They question Jasmine and Andrew in the lobby, taking statements. This qualifies as trespassing. One officer notes citing Massachusetts law, entering private property without permission and refusing to depart. They issue a formal warning documenting the incident in a police report I receive via email later, names, times, descriptions of the disturbance. Stay away unless invited, the officer advises them sternly. Jasmine mutters protests. Andrew's face flushed, but they comply, escorted out. Back in my office, Mark pulls me aside. Take the afternoon if needed, we've got your back. Shannon forwards the company security clips, high-definition views of their entry, the confrontation, even audio snippets of raised voices. Use these, she says. Nicholas meets me at home that evening, his car pulling into the driveway as I arrive. He listens intently as I recount the chaos, his expression shifting from concern to resolve. They've gone too far invading your professional space. We sit on the couch, his arm around my shoulders, the contact soothing my frayed nerves. We change the locks tonight. He decides, already searching for a locksmith on his phone. The technician arrives within the hour, replacing cylinders with new keys, the metallic clicks symbolizing security. Nicholas tests the doors, satisfied. No more surprises. As night falls, I lean against him, the day's adrenaline ebbing. His presence reinforces our unity, a buffer against the escalating tactics. The police report sits printed on the counter, a tangible record of boundaries enforced. More emails trickle in, colleagues offering support, Mark confirming HR's documentation of the incident. The footage from work bolsters our growing file, each piece strengthening my stance. Nicholas brews tea, handing me a mug. You're handling this with grace. The quiet settles, but the resolve hardens. Their attempts to undermine me at work only expose their desperation. 2 weeks later, notifications flood my email as Nicholas and I review the police report from the office incident. The crowdfunding platform sends an update. Jasmine's petition has been flagged for misleading content after I submitted our evidence of falsehoods. Administrators review the ViewCon claims, then remove the page entirely, refunding all donations. $400 returned to contributors. Jasmine texts in panic, but I ignore it, the deletion a small victory. At her sales job, the fallout hits hard. Her boss calls her in after customers mention the online buzz, some canceling orders to avoid association. The scandals affecting business. He tells her, citing posts and comments circulating among clients. Jasmine pleads, but he lets her go that afternoon. Severance minimal due to probation status. She vents to a mutual friend who relays it later, her resume now tainted, interviews drying up in the competitive retail market. Andrew faces his own repercussions at his finance firm. His superiors spot the inflammatory comments he left on Jasmine's posts, traced back to his work-linked profile. The company's ethics committee launches an internal probe reviewing logs showing he used office hours and devices for personal attacks. Policies prohibit such conduct, labeling it a conflict of interest. He receives a suspension notice, mandatory training pending his promotion on hold indefinitely. Nicholas reads the updates aloud from his tablet. Karma's catching up. I nod, the consequences unfolding as predicted. With this momentum, I draft the boundary letter on my laptop, words flowing deliberately. Effective immediately. No unsolicited visits to our home or workplaces. Cease all social media references to me or our marriage without consent. End any attempts at emotional coercion through guilt or tears. Violations result in 6 months of zero communication. Future interactions require joint family counseling with a neutral therapist I select. I attach supporting materials, a 20-year timeline of favoritism from denied extracurriculars in middle school to unequal support during job losses, security videos from the house and office, financial statements proving my independence since age 19, no parental aid for rent, tuition, or emergencies. Nicholas proofs it, suggesting minor tweaks for clarity. We print copies, sealing them in envelopes addressed to Mom, Dad, Jasmine, and Andrew. At the post office, certified mail ensures delivery tracking. This draws the line, Nicholas says as we drop them off. Back home, I feel a mix of anxiety and relief, the document a shield against further intrusions. Mom calls within hours of receipt, her tone accusatory. "What is this nonsense therapy? You're overreacting." I hang up without engaging, blocking the number temporarily. Dad emails a plea. "Let's discuss rationally." Ignored. Jasmine responds via voicemail, furious. "You think a letter stops me? This proves you're heartless." Andrew texts defensively. "Involving my job. Low blow." Their reactions confirm the need for distance. Nicholas prepares dinner, chopping vegetables rhythmically. "Proud of you for sending it." We eat in peace, the house quiet, save for our conversation about weekend plans. The letter's dispatch empowers me, a step toward reclaiming control. More messages arrive, cousins questioning the family's side after seeing remnants of the petition drama. I forward the letter to a few for transparency, letting fact speak. The probe at Andrew's firm escalates. He mentions in a leaked chat needing references soon. As evening deepens, I archive the emails, focusing forward. The repercussions validate our stance, the letter a cornerstone for healthier dynamics, or none at all. 1 month after sending the letter, my inbox pings with an invitation as Nicholas and I finish breakfast. It's a Zoom link from Dad labeled Family Emergency Healing Session, scheduled for that evening. The message urges attendance to mend wounds and restore harmony. I delete it without replying, but curiosity leads me to check social media. Jasmine has posted a screenshot of the letter's envelope, caption ridiculing it. "When boundaries mean cutting off your own blood, laughable." Comments rally around her, but a few question the family's context. Andrew forwards an email chain to my work address threatening to challenge Grandma's inheritance allocation. "Your actions show instability, will contest if needed," he writes, attaching legal jargon. The Zoom time arrives. I ignore the repeated calls. Voicemails pile up. Mom's voice trembles through the speaker. "You've changed so much, sweetie. We just want to help you see clearly." Her sobs punctuate the plea, familiar tactics surfacing. Dad follows with a private call, his tone subdued. "Maybe we've favored Jasmine at times." He admits, pausing as if weighing words, but Mom's background interjection denies it. "Nonsense, we've been fair to both." Jasmine chimes in on another message. "You're ruining everything, accusing us of bias when you're the problem." Andrew echoes via text. "This letter proves you're unhinged. We'll expose the truth." I block their numbers one by one, the action final. Nicholas monitors from beside me, his laptop open to legal forums. "They're desperate," he observes. The peak comes via certified mail, a cease and desist from a budget lawyer alleging defamation through my evidence submissions. They demand retraction or face a civil suit for slander and emotional distress. I contact our attorney immediately, forwarding everything their threats, posts, voicemails. She reviews quickly. "No merit here. Your documents are factual, not defamatory." We file a response submitting the full dossier to the court for preliminary review. The judge dismisses their claim at the initial hearing, citing lack of grounds, my actions defensive, their accusations baseless. Costs mount for them, filing fees, lawyer retainers, all wasted. The ruling arrives via email, a PDF stamped "denied." Nicholas high-fives me over dinner. That's the end of their bluff. Relief washes over the confrontation's intensity, peaking then breaking. Family attempts fizzle. No more calls breach the blocks. Jasmine deletes her mocking post after backlash grows. Andrew goes silent, his probe likely consuming energy. The ordeal cements my decision: no reconciliation without change. Nicholas and I discuss next steps, his support unwavering. The house feels safer, our life insulated. As days pass, whispers from acquaintances confirm the family's isolation. Their unity cracks under scrutiny. I archive the court notice, a testament to standing ground. The experience sharpens my perspective, boundaries now non-negotiable. 6 months later, the morning sun spills across the porch of our new ranch-style home in a quiet Boston suburb as Nicholas hands me a steaming mug. Our rescue pup Max chases leaves in the yard, his barks echoing happily. My marketing consultancy has doubled its client list, landing 2 major contracts that keep my calendar full and rewarding. Nicholas earned a promotion at his software firm, complete with remote flexibility that lets us steal afternoons for hikes. We sip coffee in comfortable silence, a ritual we cherish. No drama, no guilt trips, just us. All contact remains severed, every number, blocked social accounts, muted mail rerouted to a P.O. box we check monthly. New security cameras sweep the perimeter, their red lights a quiet reassurance. Word filters through distant relatives about the fallout. Mom spends evenings alone. Old friends distance themselves, tired of the endless complaints and victim narratives. Invitations to neighborhood gatherings dry up her isolation, self-inflicted. Jasmine's civil suit crumbled weeks ago. Court records show she paid over $4,000 in filing fees and attorney costs, only to lose, at summary judgment, no evidence, no case. The judge ruled my documentation truthful, her claims frivolous. Now job hunting in sales proves brutal. Interviewers Google her name, see the public scandal, and pass. Listings sit unanswered, her confidence shaken. Andrew's situation worsened too. His firm terminated him after the ethics investigation concluded. Using company resources for personal attacks violated policy. His resume carries the stain. Recruiters spot the online trail, interviews stall. Months of applications yield nothing substantial, forcing him into freelance gigs that barely cover rent. Nicholas sets his mug down, scrolling news on his tablet. Heard anything new? I shake my head. Nothing worth hearing. Our life thrives in the vacuum dinners with Angela and Jason, weekend trips to the coast, Max's training classes. Brandy and Shannon drop by, often celebrating milestones without tension. I think back sometimes, but regret never surfaces. Boundaries didn't fracture the family. They revealed what was already broken. Self-respect guided every decision, leading to genuine peace. Standing firm taught me this: real happiness stems from protecting your worth, not appeasing dysfunction. Healthy families aren't defined by blood, they're built by those who stand beside you, respect your voice, and celebrate your growth. Nicholas squeezes my hand, Max bounds over for pets, and the day stretches ahead, calm and ours.